All right, welcome back to part two of the vibe check. If you haven't watched part one, please watch that first down in the description below. We explained what the acronym stands for so you can understand the process of how we validate top tier ideas from our brainstorms. All right, let's get into it.
So this is a bank of some, actually not all of the ideas that we've gone through, but I did gather together like 20 picks basically from like going all the way back to our very first episode all the way up to now. How about we just start with one idea and just see if it passes the vibe check?
Let's do mobile Funbox mainly because it's the first one on the list.
I think it's also the first one on the show ever, I'm pretty sure. It's a good idea, man. Yeah, so is it viral?
I think with the trend of seeing all the past kind of mobile businesses that have been spun up during the whole lockdown period, or like delivery services that's been out there. So the whole idea of this business model has been validated. And I think for this idea, it was validated through that Instagram post of this trailer that was essentially parked outside of this one person's suburb home. So I think in that case, as a business, I think it's definitely been validated as it having viral potential. And then plus, when I hear the words mobile fun box, it makes me actually want to find out more.
I feel like it's medium viral. We did have a reference of this like having gone viral. That's why I initially brought it up, was because I saw a viral video online where somebody had done this. So I do think it is. I just wonder if it is evergreen. I'm just not really sure. I'm like kind of medium on that. Once we get into the intuitive space, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to wonder if this is an intuitive idea because like mobile Funbox, I'm actually wondering right now. It's like stopping and like if you're listening to this, like as or viewing this, like do you know what we mean by this? Is it like an adult thing or like a kid's thing? What is this about? I mean, like that might have a good effect, but while I feel like that is aiding the viralness of it, it's taking away from the intuitiveness.
I think maybe the actual business name might need to be workshop.
So yeah, like basically we know that this is viral because we have past social proof and it stands out because it's unexpected. And I mean, honestly, like beyond that that's enough for me. That's honestly checking off those like two things. So regarding how intuitive this idea is, I think that the name is the problem. Maybe it just needs to be renamed.
If I were to spin off a business of this, it would be like Funbox delivered. Just like any type of like entertainment delivered in front of your suburban home is like an interesting thing to me. There's really nothing much going on aside from like just community plazas or maybe like local malls. But when you have this thought of I could like a fun experience delivered outside my garage and invite my friends to essentially instead of make a mess out of my house, but then like, contain that mess inside a box instead, is actually more interesting to me. If I own a home and don't want to actually clean up, actually cleaning up is like more of an effort for me to approach a house party to invite all my friends. Maybe like I would order this interesting Funbox experience.
Yeah, I think, okay, so I'm actually with you on that. I think, okay, you have swayed me. Okay, so I see what you mean about like how this is something that would just like instantly connect with suburbanites, even if they do have the wrong reaction in the beginning and they're like, what is this, some weird adult thing? Even then, they'll probably be like interested enough to click it because like this is a business for the suburban world. This is not a downtown Toronto idea. Like this is like take me out to like, you know, deep into Newmarket or something. Try this out over there. Okay, I can totally see this doing well. And that's where I think it just needs to be like micro viral. And by micro viral, I just mean like viral within the local community. So they need to be creating content that gets into the algorithm of their local people. Easy way to do that, look at what all of the food reviewers are doing in your local area. Like you'll notice that they are always saying the name of the city that they're getting the food from in the first few seconds of their video. So kind of start there. It may not be verbally intuitive because like how do you explain this? It's like we're going to get a big box and we're gonna truck it over, and it's gonna have like 10 video game consoles inside of it, and then all these kids are gonna start playing Fortnite. That's really hard to put into like one or two sentences, but that doesn't mean it's not intuitive, because you don't get it when you hear it. But if you just saw it, like I think we should definitely show our viewers at let's remember to like go back and show them from like when we bring up this idea. This is a visually intuitive idea. Like you just need to see a video of the kids in the room and playing the games. That's going to tell everything. So I feel like we're pretty good. I feel like we're doing pretty well here.
You hit the nail on the head. If I were coming from like, okay, I got a box now, I got a trailer, now I'm just like ready to rent it out. So I guess for buildability, your main barrier to entry to this idea, essentially create this like mobile Funbox for rent experiences, building the actual box itself, just rig it with contents.
You could DIY this.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, you could watch a couple of DIY videos of like people overhauling their trailers and then putting in panels where maybe they install some plywood panels inside.
If you have a garage and a driveway, like, I don't think anything's stopping you from doing that.
Yeah. Maybe you get a good deal on a trailer on Facebook Marketplace where an auction or a discount retailer that for some reason is going bankrupt, like Hudson's Bay, for example. Maybe they have like a trailer in stock.
Man, rest in peace to Hudson's Bay. Side note, if they're going bankrupt, I want to buy their brand. Can we just like go splitsies on that?
Yeah, I'm down. I can see that there's probably a great amount of hidden brand value in just like the name. If you were to be able to get the online store license, like how it happened to Bed Bath & Beyond. Side note, Bed Bath & Beyond actually went through bankruptcy and then their name got bought by Overstock. They're just like kind of traditionally just selling a bunch of discount furnitures online, and they pretty much overtaken the entire Bed Bath & Beyond brand. They took the online store portion and then they just left alone with like all the inventory and all the physical stores. They don't want to deal with any of that. They just want to operate the online store.
So maybe that's what we could do here. I think that Hudson's Bay, if they knew the value of their own brand, they wouldn't be in this situation. Like, it's such a good brand. People love it. People are crazy about it. And I think it's one of the oldest brands in North America. It's remarkable that just go in the stores, man, and you'll see it. Let's just get back into Buildable.
Okay, once you figured out the actual box experience and are ready to deploy, maybe you spend like 10 grand on the actual rig of the box. How I would essentially spread this entire service like wildfire will actually be to leave flyers around my neighborhood of just the biggest mansions out there, or like maybe they're not like the biggest mansion, maybe like it's 4 or 5 bedroom detached home area with decent sized driveway. Maybe also they could be like smaller townhomes, but then they might have like a lot of friends where maybe it might be a very lively community around that neighborhood. I would just go traditional with it.
This could be a Toronto idea. As long as you just have somewhere to park it. Higher density areas might do well.
I might operate it in a way where it's just parked at a parking lot or street parking. Make it bookable by the hour.
Okay, so dude, you just, by saying that has checked off the Buildable completely for me, because I actually know somebody who's doing that right now. They bought a massive RV and it's a mobile tattoo studio. I actually wonder which idea is more profitable. Maybe we should do an episode on the economics of tattoos, because they're expensive. Maybe there's money in that. You're really just playing off of the same thing that food trucks do. If you can have a food truck and also be viral, if you can check off both of those two things, oh my gosh, man. It won't be like just viral like in your local community. Like once you reach a certain point, you'll have like Mr. Beast pulling up on you. Like, did you see that, like, the guy, people bring bags of chips and he cuts them open and then he just puts like a bunch of like meat and like fries into it and sprays a bunch of sauce on it and then he hands it back to them. He posts POVs of him making it. Now he's got Mr. Beast pulling up and just doing collabs with him. And it's not like to promote his, so he sells more sandwiches or something. People just love what you're doing so much. Like they just think it's that awesome that you're doing a mobile business like this. Yeah, man. Okay, so it's buildable for like 10K though, right? You said 10K before?
Yeah, 10K to like essentially build out the physical box. I would essentially say the marketing budget is close to free. This will actually be your biggest hidden sauce as a marketing channel is Facebook Marketplace right here. So I just did a quick projector rental search on one of the suburbia cities close to the Greater Toronto area. There are literally people listing projector rentals, 100-inch tripod screen bundle along with a projector for $100. I think my guess is like per hour. People are actually so bored in suburbia that like they would just be down to watch movies in their backyard.
I've done this a couple times actually for one of my friends' birthdays. So we just bring in like the battery and the projector and a screen, then we'll just like put up a movie in the park. There's a lot of reasons to do that. Like that's not we're always talking about what types of in-person events we should be putting on. Like we do walks and we do like we've done a lot of experimental things.
It's a whole entire economy for these people to essentially provide these rental services that are either for entertainment or celebrations in suburban areas. That would literally be my entire strategy, is just make a free listing or like a low dollar value listing. Maybe I would also try to dominate the keyword search, like Nintendo NES games or like GameCube games.
You might get a lot of churn though from that though, because like it's going to be people looking to buy the things, right?
Yes, but like they would be prime targets that would be interested in actually playing the games as well. This is like essentially the channel for me to create these free billboards for anyone that's looking to search for anything that's remotely similar to an indicated interest. Maybe it's like a Lego Funbox experience, because once they search once or have some kind of interest and search for it on Facebook Marketplace, they would know that your service exists. So
yeah,
once they can either start to consider, okay, maybe I will rent a mobile Funbox for $200. It's not a bad idea to rent it out for 2 days and not having to clean all my friends' mess.
Just look for things that people are getting already for parties. Like people renting out balloons, like getting these whole-on balloon setups. Something to indicate that this is somebody who's throwing a party that's like big. That's the search terms that I would want to be next to. So like the thing you had up before, like with all of those balloons, I think that would be a great result to be in. Just throw in the keyword like balloon rental somewhere into your listing and just get on there, because those people, they don't know that your service exists yet.
This person actually turned their basement arcade / game room into a rental service. This is the kind of stuff that happens on Facebook Marketplace.
This is so Facebook Marketplace. And there you go. They're charging $13.50 plus tax for that.
Yeah, as birthday packages. So if these things exist, if this guy is actually renting out a Nintendo Switch for $50, $200 as a security deposit, after seeing all those listings, I feel like it's pretty buildable as a Facebook Marketplace campaign strategy.
One other thing, if you can't afford the box yet, just get the consoles. Let's just start there. Like just do what that guy did with like the terrible Facebook listing. Just make a better one than him, obviously.
I think I also got an additional strategy to go like the $0 budget route. Create these Facebook Marketplace listings that are all about like experiences, like board games, like all the traditional board games, to let you have a board games night. And for a fee, I will rent you these Connect 4 games or Guess Who or Life for like, I don't know, $20 or $40 per night. Honestly, that's just like free profit.
Yeah, because the value in that just lies in the fact that you have like a lot to choose from. Go to a thrift store if you don't have enough board games and just buy some. It'll be $5. You'll be good. Go and start this. Go make this.
Because the bar is literally at projector backyard movie night.
Yeah, like this is a literal Facebook Marketplace business. Like just go do it. Make the listing. So, okay, But let's finish this off. We do still need to say that it's effective. My recommended goal to any business is that it makes money. So I think that should be like the number one thing here. I think that's actually probably the only priority that this business would have. Like, nobody's gonna like praise you for this. It's 100% about making money. So this thing has to be like a money printer. How do you see this being effective financially?
Because this is like within the early startup category, a rough guide for me to come up, but like other people might have different numbers in their own heads. But this is what I think it needs to happen is that 50% profit margin on every sale or rental order. And what it needs to actually do is turn over the entire cost of build within the first year. So that's all it really needs to do.
You could do better. Well, okay, the first one depends on how you're actually calculating all of this. If we're just talking about the cash flow on this, like all of the money on this is kind of spent like all at once. So the 50% profit margin, I feel like that's unrealistic. I think we should like actually shoot way higher than that. I think we should say it should be like 70 or 80, just because like all it really needs is last money. If you're getting out of the DIY space, then like you need room to like hire someone. If you had someone working for like minimum wage doing this for you, how much would that cost? That's why I say like it should be higher than that, because once you scale, you won't be able to do 70 or 80 anymore. You're going to be stuck at like 50. It needs to be very, very lean. That all of that to say. And then the other thing is that like you need to turn over the cost of it in the first year. We're estimating $10,000 to $20,000 that would get spent. Let's do the math on this. We're saying, what's the price per rental?
I think in my head it would make sense if you do $200 per day.
I feel like higher. I feel like 400, 500. No.
Yeah, we can go super optimistic.
We're talking about kids' birthday parties here. They're gonna have like a catering company bring in burritos. The burritos were probably $750. $200. That's like renting a generator for the day.
Okay, so this is how I'm doing this calculation. Let's go super conservative. So 20K build. Let's be a little bit optimistic. It's being rented out for 120 days out of the entire year. So 120 days equals 166 or 167 dollars per day. So this is essentially our break-even cost in order to get to that build, plus greater than 50% margin for that entire price equals 250. So it needs to be at least like 250 per day or greater than 250 per day for this to be effective.
That is amazing. So let's pedal back. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people wouldn't pay 400 for this, but I really think people would pay 400, maybe 600 for this. Look at how high the margins on this could be.
If this doesn't turn into a money printing machine, then I guess we'll have to validate it some other way. AI these days can also help you get really far with your market research as well. ChatGPT can also figure out your census data's presented population density within the radius of your neighborhood. So you can try to forecast your possibility of rental bookings through there.
I am wondering here, like, what about if you were doing, like, this is your full-time thing? If we could reverse engineer, like, from, okay, so we said it has to be $250 per day to, like, maintain a healthy margin, basically. So let's say we're charging $250 per day, and we're renting it out a reasonable amount. What is the profit at the end of the year? Basically, if you go with the lowest potential pricing on this, then that's $30,000 a year. So I would consider that a good side hustle. Like, you know, obviously, like, you're not going to get to keep all of that. You're going to be using your truck, have your trailer, and like you're going to need oil changes and gas and things like that. Like things are going to eat away at this, and you're going to like personally incur more expenses by this. But that does mean if this is like a really big shift for you as the person who's executing this idea, then you should really be chasing like 3-4 times more revenue basically on this if you want it to be a sustainable full-time business for one person. That might make it not the right thing for some people, but also the right thing for other people. Doesn't like shoot down anything about the idea.
Theoretically, to the person that wants to make okay per year, the eventual goal. Okay, if I were to charge for, let's say, 800 for a day, so $100 for an hour per hour on this thing, you essentially need 250 days of bookings required to hit revenue goal 250.
At $800 a day, you need to be booked out 250 days per year.
So that would be what I would consider a full-time job. And at that point, you would be really close to consider getting maybe another inventory of these mobile boxes to operate 2 or 3, for example, and then have like a perfectly automated booking system so that you're connecting between automatic booking system to then get it placed so you have all the logistics sorted out.
I love it, man. Okay, well, I think this is a great place to end off the episode. Also, I just want to say, I'm actually so happy that this idea ended up like being like a pretty feasible one. I feel like this is a great format that we're doing here. I'm very curious. Anybody who's listening right now, I actually really want your feedback on how you felt about this episode, because we're approaching the ideas from a completely different way. This is what takes it over from just being like, hey, like, here's this thing, try it, to like, let's like get out there and actually do this. You've had all of this laid out to you. It's like, why aren't you just going out there and making these things? It's like either start making the ideas or make the business.
100%. And let us know in the comments if you would like us to literally give you the fish or teach you how to fish, because like we can do both. We love your feedback.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We're trying to give you guys the fishing rod with this episode.
Yeah, maybe we'll expand this entire vibe check document into a bigger deck so it's more informative with provided examples of case studies. Let us know in the comments if you want like a fully developed PDF about this.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we got for today. Thanks again for listening. See you guys next time.
All right. Peace.